Yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. This was Birmingham's opportunity to shine, and they've absolutely embraced it and taken it. And the whole of the West Midlands, actually, because many of the venues have been in Birmingham, many of them outside. And it's been amazing. And 1.5 million people have come and had an amazing experience as well. So I think, we had high expectations. It's more than met that. Well, as you can probably tell from my voice, actually, I've been shouting "Come on England" a fair bit, and I've managed to get around all 19 venues and sports, which was one of my goals at the beginning, and achieved that yesterday. So I was really pleased because every single one of the venues has been spectacular. I mean, there's always an atmosphere at the Alexander Stadium for the athletics and at the aquatic centre, but we've seen some other sports as well and things that I'm not familiar with. So 3x3 was amazing, the basketball, in particular the wheelchair 3x3. So whenever there's an opportunity to see that again, I'm going to take that because it was mesmerising. Yeah, we actually, just before the Commonwealth Games started, we had a meeting of sports ministers from around the world and raised a whole bunch of issues at that in terms of, how we can diversify the countries that take on the Games, but also raised issues like inclusivity. Obviously, these Games have showcased huge inclusivity in terms of more women's medals events than men, for example, and of course the integration of parasport is fantastic. But some of the Commonwealth countries as well need continued nudging on other areas of diversity, including LGBT rights and so on. We're having those conversations. We're working constructively with other Commonwealth countries because we do need to make sure that sport at both grassroots and elite level is for everybody. And absolutely amazing. I mean, it's great that we've had, showcasing women's sport here at the Commonwealth Games, but then with the Lionesses' success as well, it's been incredible. And we need to make sure that not only do we celebrate the current success, but there's a legacy there as well, and that we continue that focus on encouraging women and girls to participate in sport. Well, I think these Games have fundamentally altered perceptions of Birmingham for many, many people. I mean, I'm a West Midlands MP, so I've known Birmingham for a while, and actually all of us in Birmingham and the broader West Midlands, I think, can rightly be very proud about what's gone on here, because people have not only seen the physical change in the city. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. Things like the city dressing have gone really, really well. They've really made a difference. But also we've showcased that we can do these events really well. And I've spoken to people from around the Commonwealth and around the country who've come to Birmingham over the last couple of weeks and said, wow, I wasn't really expecting this. This is great. Either they haven't been here in a while or this is the first time they've ever been. And I think it's exceeded their expectations, and I think that's great because that will help with the legacy. It'll help with investment. It'll help with tourism. It'll help with all of these other elements that go with the Games as well. Not at all. I think Birmingham has shown that it can put on a major international sporting event in the way that many other cities can, but we're now on the map for doing those things. So definitely one of the elements of legacy is thinking about how we can use the facilities and the experience to bid for other major international sporting events. I don't think it's an unrealistic ambition to say that the Olympics could be one of them. I mean, we're great in the UK that we've got many cities that actually could offer to host events like the Olympics. And of course there's been a trend as well for multi-city bids in lots of international sporting events, and again Birmingham absolutely will be part of that mix going forward now because it's showcased itself in an incredibly positive way and put on a major event, which is no easy task, incredibly professionally. Well, we've got several major international sporting events already in the pipeline. We've got the Rugby League World Cup coming up. We've got international gymnastics. We're already in the process of bidding for UEFA men's as well in a few years' time. There are others on the horizon. I think we've now got the confidence and indeed the opportunity of multiple cities to bid for more events. I'm Sports Minister, so I would say this as well. But also we need Treasury approval. But the thing about these events is they often stack up with a really positive return on investment. I mean, we've had thousands of people come here, 1.5 million people come here, spending money on pubs, bars, restaurants, hotels and so on. It has an immediate economic impact plus the legacy benefit. So I'm all in favour of further bids, but then I'm Sports Minister, so I would say that, wouldn't I? It's quite complicated and you need multiple stakeholders, but I would say it's definitely a possibility that I would lean heavily in as Sports Minister.